What's going on, guys? This is Miyasin and welcome to the OCG Metagame Breakdown number 1 and 2, covering 165 top-performing decks from 39 tournaments in Japan, mainland China, Taiwan, Malaysia, and South Korea. Oh wow, we don't see that every day. Usually it's just Japan, mainland China, and maybe Taiwan, or like whatever else, during the span of less than 2 weeks. But before we get into this video, friendly reminder to like and subscribe, check me out on Twitch and Instagram. I'll show you guys a bunch of deck lists, by the way, so this won't just be about Tearlaments, because I think you can already see that Tearlaments is dominating a little too much. I wonder why. Anyways, let's get right into it. So, what's the best deck in the game right now? Oh, it's Ishizu Tearlaments. Wow. Okay, so the majority of them are playing without the package of High Spirits, but some of them are still playing with High Spirits. Some of them are playing with no Ishizu, but a High Spirit. That makes no sense. I guess it might be expensive. I don't really know. Branded Ishizu Tearlaments, very interesting, but only one of them out of 79, so it's kind of not really accurate representation. Lawn Mowing Branded Bisted Tearlaments, really interesting that they have access to Lawn Mowing and they're still not really using the card like left and right. And then Nemesis, people could actually be spamming out Colossus, but they're not really doing that. And then the second best deck used to be Exorcister. That's what we saw in this breakdown, as you can see. But now things have changed, and the second best deck is now Runick. And Exorcister downgraded to like this position, tied with like Blackwing, Flunderies, and Blackwing, what the frick? Anyways, yeah, Runick is a really good card, a really good deck. A bunch of cards are really good, like the Field Spell. The Runick tip is Rhoda. And yeah, being able to draw 3 cards like every single freaking turn, on your own turn, on your opponent's turn. And if you have a bunch of field spells, it can be even more abusable. And I will also show you guys the deck list for Runick. It's very, very interesting and really not what you would expect because they don't have Mystic Mine. So it's not even remotely close to being the same thing as we have over here in the TCG. Anyway, Sword Soul is after that in the third best deck. I think I also have a deck list that I can show you guys. But yeah, most of them are playing Tenyi Sword Soul, one of them Bestial Sword Soul, Dinomorphia Sword Soul, I don't know about that, it might seem a little clunky, and then one Pure Sword Soul without any Tenyis. Very interesting, just a bunch of hand traps maybe. Bisted Dragon Link, another really interesting deck. Blackwing, I don't think I was able to find any deck list on that, unfortunately, but it looks so freaking spicy, man. Can't believe Blackwing is actually that high. Oh my god, it's actually crazy. And they had the support for quite a while, so I'm really shocked to see that out of nowhere right now, it's doing that well, although it's just like 4 out of like 165 decks. So it's still like nothing, to be honest. Anyways, after that, like I said, Exorcister, 2 of them are Ishizu Exorcister. I really don't see the synergy because you're kind of locked under only summoning Exorcister monsters if you use the effect of Malfa. So it's a little sussy, and it doesn't really benefit that much off of milling cards. Trust me, it's kind of like a deck that want to play Shifter, and Ishizu kind of loses to Shifter, if you know what I'm saying. Anyways, Flunderies. It would have been funny if we saw like Ishizu Flunderies. That would have been like next level bullshit. Yeah, I can't use any effect of my Flunderies monsters, but I can still tribute summon my Empen on top of 2 Ishizus. Oh yes, Bernard. Anyways, Lawn Mowing, Tearlaments, Thunder Dragon, Punk Bestial. Oh, that's a mouthful. Magician, that's what she said. Adamancipator, 1 Vernalizer, Grass Vernalizer. What the heck is this, man? Vernalizer, whatever. I mean, it's cute, but it locks you under Earth only, so like, I don't know, maybe you have to make like less Nugates or something. I don't even know what I'm saying because I don't even know the deck. 3 Bisted, 1 Branded Bisted, 1 Punk Bisted, and 1 Tearlaments Branded Bisted. This deck is very interesting. Like, very interesting. To be fair, they all lose, like, very hard to debarrier because they're only really trying to play Fusion monsters because of Branded Fusion locking you, unfortunately, but the ceiling level is very high, and your engine are just a bunch of hand traps. So you're well equipped to beat Tearlaments, actually, and that's the reason why it's stopping. Now we have Eldritch, another deck that will never die, quite literally. Bisted Dragon Maid, this deck was able to go very far in a tournament that we got relatively recently. I think it was able to get 2nd place, very spicy, as you can see. A bunch of hand traps, 3, 5, 7... no, that doesn't count. 10, 13, 16, 19. 19 hand traps out of a 41 card deck. So basically, half of your deck are hand traps, and I guess Lubellion kind of counts because if you're going first, you can search a hand trap, but typically I only consider hand traps like cards that are ready to be used on like turn 0, so like basically when you're going second. Anyways, it's a very nice deck. Tri Brigade, Virtual World, Hero, Labyrinth. Wow, it's actually doing a little bit. Not really, because again, it's a huge sample size. And Hero should be doing better, man. They can abuse Dark Law, so I don't know, man. Like, Stratos and any Hero discard is game. It's freaking Dark Law, Phoenix Enforcer without Verte. So, like, and you don't really have to play, like, any new bullshit cards for that. It's just like you summon Phoenix Enforcer and wake up your Elemental Hero. You destroy your Wake Up with Phoenix Enforcer, and then you summon Shadow Mist, Surge the Mass Change, and yeah, just a really nice combo. Anyways, Spiral, that deck exists in the TCG, but not, sorry, the exact opposite. OCG, but not TCG. Same thing with Tri Brigade Lyrilusk, it sucks over here. Alter, guys, that's just a Mystic Mind deck over here. Bisted Mikanko, I'm gonna have to look into that because a bunch of the Splight deck list were playing the Mikanko engine. But Splight is actually nowhere to be seen here. It got way too nerfed, like it's so unplayable now, it's just ass. But yeah, Kotalker, Mathmag, Danger, Dark World, finally a single, oh my god. It took a while for its first top. Actually, I think it got like a top last time, but irrelevant. Draco Slayer, very disappointing, but I do remember that I saw a feature match of like a guy going very, very far with like Draco Slayer, so that was maybe him. Lawnmowing, Invoke Shaddoll, Lawnmowing, Ishizu, Tearlaments, Phantom Knight, Xatrila, Mech Knight. By the way, this is before the support, so Xatrila might actually become like extremely good once we get Photon Hypernova. Mathemax, Salamangrate, Mikanko, Marincess. Oh, that's kind of spicy. Punk, Xatrila, Punk, Jung, Dopel. They still have like, you know, Needle Fiber and... No, sorry, they don't have Needle Fiber. They have Chaos Ruler though. Splight, Tri Brigade, Melfi. Yo, the mighty have fallen very, very hard. Subterror, Therion, Sanavalon, Rika. Well, the Rika deck is really good in the TCG, but it's just like Rika with like a few Sanavalon cards, Rivalry, Mystic Mind, Dark Rule, etc. That's the deck that was piloted by two really good players, actually. They're Europeans, Mark Patel, who got first place at the Euro WCQ. Congrats to you again. And Alex Robertson, who also went very far with the deck, both part of the Disciples. And finally, Traptrix, which is getting a structure deck, by the way. Anyways, for Tearlaments, this is old news because I already mentioned this, but Beatrice is actually apparently very good in the deck, and the reason for that is because you can use two Bisted monsters to summon Beatrice and get anything you want, really. You can either send a Salic to search your Reno Heart, send a Scream to search your Salic or the Crime post game 1, or you can send a Tearlaments monster. And the beauty about Beatrice is that it has two ammos. You can use one effect on your own turn to get your engine started, and one ammo of Beatrice on your opponent's turn to interrupt your opponent and summon like another fusion monster. So it's a fantastic card. I want to say Beatrice is better than Curious. If you have the option of summoning either Curious or Beatrice, you always want to go for Beatrice. The only benefit I guess I want to say about Curious is the fact that you can turn it into a Griffin right after because you already have a Link 3, so you already did most of the job. But Beatrice being able to, like I said again, use this effect twice in total just makes it an overall better card. And the commitment is also a little smaller because a single Magnamut would get your Druid Worm on the end phase, and then you can still use the Druid Worm right away when you search it on the opponent's end phase. And by the time you start your turn, you have 5 cards in hand, 2 level 6 monsters on the field. Guess what that means? Instant Beatrice access. And if you have an IQ of 20 billion, one thing that you could do is summon Beatrice, not use the effect on main phase, go into battle phase, and then use the effect. And that way you dodge Effect Veiler. So if it's like literally the only play that you have, you can play around Effect Veiler with one single hand trap. Like that, it's crazy. It's not even like, you don't even have to show your engine to like your opponent, and you can actually do so much just with one single Druid Worm. This card is like, yo, one of the best cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! Right now. It's unfair. This is the best hand trap I have seen after like Maxi and... I don't know, maybe like Nibiru depending on the context, but whatever. And Shifter, obviously, but that doesn't count. Shifter is bullshit. But anyways, for the, the Ishizu lineup, now people are actually cutting Kelbeck to 2 because everybody's on like Ishizu Tearlaments mirror matches and you don't really want to help out your opponent. You don't want to be a nice guy, right? You want to be evil. So instead of playing like 3 and then 3 of Agido or something, people have completely cut Agido. I think Agido might be limited though. I could be wrong. And Keldo is also at 1, so you can only play 1, but this card's like insanely good. It searches you any of your Ishizu monsters, whereas Mudora is not that great because it puts a Gravekeeper's Trap Hole, from your deck face up on the field, but people are no longer playing the Ishizu traps. So Exchange of the Spirit and Gravekeeper's Traps are no longer to be seen. And that is, people can still make Dweller to win in mirror matches, so it really doesn't matter too much. Gravekeeper's Trap was really insane in mirrors because it was like a Dweller, a Sanafond, and like everything you could imagine at once. Obviously, that was granted you have Exchange of the Spirit in the graveyard, but still really nice. Instead of playing, you know, bad cards like Reinforcement of the Army and stuff like that, you know, those guys are, you know, they're nice. They know what they're doing. So playing Foolish Burial Goods, again, very flexible card, just like Beatrice. You either send your Scream to search a trap, you search, or you send your Celic to search a monster. So it's basically like a full, you know, a searcher. It replaces the field spell, I want to say. So if you're broke and you're watching this video and you can't afford freaking 4 field spells, because I keep seeing those posts in like the Tearlaments group on Facebook, just play Foolish Burial Goods. It's basically the field spell. Yeah. Anyways, so that's it for this main deck. And for the extra deck, is there anything noteworthy here? Not really. People are no longer playing, you know, the Spright Elf combo to revive back the Diviner of the Heralds, send the Entis, and also make Baron on their own turn. Unfortunately, because that was really cool, but it is what it is. And for the side deck, 1 extra Saronier, but no 3rd Magnamut. I don't know how I feel about that. And also 2 evenly matched, which is not that good in the mirror because they can search crime, so they have a way to deal with it, but no other negate. So if you draw like double evenly or a way to bait the crime, and then you can resolve that evenly, you might really win the game. And yeah, triple Tactic Talons, Call by the Grave in the side deck, always. People are never main decking Call by the Grave, and this is not new. Like, everybody has been doing that. You see Call by the Grave here, Call by the Grave there. Yeah, it's because the Mudora and Keldo, they can shuffle back the target. So even if you hand trap your opponent, the Call by the Grave doesn't actually mean that it will necessarily resolve. So that is very unfortunate for the card, but fortunate for us because it's a Saki one-of in the TCG, and I hate it from the bottom of my heart. A new card, well, not really new card, but rather old card that is now seeing new form of play is Chaos Hunter now. And the reason for that is because it's actually really insane against like Runick and Satchela Fenrir. Basically, your opponent summons Fenrir, you go Chaos Hunter effect, you summon it, and your Fenrir can't even like banish the Chaos Hunter on resolution. And since cards can no longer be banished, it shuts down a bunch of cards. And this card is basically one of the best floodgates against Runick. So if you can summon that reliably, you are going to go very, very far. This is a very respectable card. I am a big fan of it. And Mind Control, I really don't see what this is trying to hit though. Maybe the Bisted Monsters when you go first so that it can facilitate your Beatrice plays. But this guy is not playing Beatrice. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I don't really understand, but I guess here it said Mind Control in the side deck is another card that could be used against Satchela Fenrir. It's also useful against Ruler Kalos and Predaplan Dragos Tapelia, because you summon them and you make a link to, etc, blah blah blah. But I mean, you might as well play triple okay, he's already main decking triple Tactic Talents. You know what, he wants to play every freaking steel card in the world. Yo, in the TCG, just play Change of Heart. Don't even bother with Mind Control. It's not that good. The Random Mass 1 Crossout Designator, which I actually think is garbage. I would not recommend that. But at least he's trying to respect it by playing 1 Imperm. You might as well, and no Ghost Bell or DD Crow and stuff like that. Fun fact, you can cross out the Bisted Monsters. So, well, I mean, it's not really a fun fact. It's super obvious, but whatever. Again, Foolish Goods, and then the one of Field Spell, the one of Terraforming. In case you're wondering, could Terraforming be a brick if you mail the Field Spell? No, again, because Mudora and Keldo can shuffle them back, so your Terraforming is always live. You can search for your Field Spell twice, I guess, in one game. Not really. No, actually. You have to hard draw it and then search it once, if you can get it to the grave and then shuffle it back. Not that hard to achieve. But anyways, main deck triple Fenrir is somewhat interesting. And then triple Magnamut this time with 1 Druid Worm. Not trying to side a Saronier, but rather a second Druid Worm, as well as 1 random ass Ghost Mourner. And then Effect Veiler, Duster, blah blah blah. And yada yada yada. So yeah, in conclusion, comes as no surprise that Tearlaments is still the best deck, blah blah blah, of course, and Photon Hyper Nova is probably gonna change things up with the Satchela cards, but none of that matters because I want to show you guys the other deck list that I promised you. Alright, so this one is Tenyi Sword Soul, I think, yes, so they still have freaking Protoss, oh my god. Main deck Shifter, okay, so that's probably how you steal games in the meta. Sword of Concealing Light puts everything into face down, I think. It's basically a Book of Eclipse, but main deck Sword of Concealing Light is rather sus. Yeah, I don't know, I think at this point, it's interesting. The last time I saw this card being unironically played was in Chaos Max OTK, because, you know, it's just monsters become face down, so Chaos Max is double piercing, and you can just kill your opponent. But in here, I don't know, it just feels a little whack and unnatural. Yeah, it's definitely the first time I've seen this, but whatever. Is that a Magic Key monster? Am I blind? This is not Invoke Kaliga. How are you summoning this? There has to be something I'm missing somewhere, but whatever. Millennium Eyes Restrict. Again, am I blind or something? Am I missing something super obvious? The Synchro monsters can't really get you there, and you can't really summon them. I'm so confused. It actually makes no sense, but whatever. Let's get into the other deck list. I don't think anyone cares about the Ishizu tier. This is Dragon Maid Bisted. I already show you guys a deck list, but whatever, here it is if you want another one. And another Ishizu tier deck list. Now for the actual interesting deck list that you guys have been asking for. So all these decks are spicy. The first one is Labyrinth, so oh wow, triple of the new one. The card is that good. And then triple Ariana. I mean the good one, the Rhoda, not the one that summons from the deck by sending a trap and making you go neck 10. Triple Fenrir in the main deck, triple Extravagance, one Necro Valley, oh, nasty card, and then their field spell, double Ligma Punishment, ooh, double DDG in the main deck, oh, very interesting. And there's pretty much no 3 of outside of Compulse and Welcome Labyrinth. Wow, and they have double Metaverse, which is 100% respectable because they don't have Mystic Mind, so this card is actually fair. No Trap Trick, and one D-Bear in the main deck because, you know, it's a trap card, you can technically search it, and you can reset it back, you can actually loop it. So once Labyrinth gets its engine started, it's basically impossible to stop. Now, a bunch of monsters in the extra deck are targets for the Dogmatic Punishment, and some other cards that are probably just memes because, oh no, there's Awakening the Dragon. I was like, yeah, how are you summoning Naturi, Exterio, and Last Warrior? I get it now. There you go, Keck W Ruffle. Now, there is no, sorry, is that the monster that I'm thinking about? Was it the Stove? But there is the Clock, and there's also, I think this is Chandra, but I could be wrong. Either way, very interesting lineup of monsters. And also, yeah, just a bunch of cards that I used to play in my build that this guy is not playing, so this is very streamlined. And I want to say I'm a big fan of that, so yeah, huge kudos to this guy for doing pretty well with a deck that is very interesting, very innovative, and very refreshing as well, because I think a lot of people are kind of tired of seeing Ishizu tier everywhere. But anyways, the second deck list would be Trap Tricks, also very interesting, and with this we'll get a huge boost from the structure deck, I think. A bunch of cards will definitely be played at, you know, 1, 2, or maybe 3 of. So triple Remelio, triple Diarrhea, triple Mantis, and then 3 of the girl that I think special summons herself by maybe banishing a chapel from the grave. No, this might not be it. This might be another effect. But anyways, and then this guy I think grants you an extra normal summon, but it's looks a little gimmicky and a little bricky in a trap deck. Triple Fenrir, oh, a bunch of hand traps actually. Oh, okay, so this guy's playing Imperm and Shade Brigandine because there is a little bit of conflicting. If you use Imperm and then you draw into Shade Brigandine, you can't use it on your own turn because you have to have no traps in the grave. So that's the reason why, even though I really loved Imperm, I never really wanted to main deck it in that deck just because of Shade. But of course, if you have like a Trap Tricks monster in Shade, you most likely win the game because of how ridiculous your end board can be. It's basically going to be like Sarah with a trap and a rank 4, which is actually really good in a deck that's not supposed to be combo heavy at all, because that's just a 2-card combo and you still have like 3 other cards in your hand. So imagine having like all that and like 4 back row. It's going to be really oppressive. And 2 Solemn Judgment, but no Solemn Strike. Very, very interesting. More Swords of Concealing Light in the side deck. Again, am I missing something? I feel so stupid. You in the comment section below, please let us know why Sword of Concealing Light is everywhere. Anyways, the final deck list. No, this might not be the final deck list, but this is the pure Runick deck that people have been playing. Again, no Mystic Mine. So this is actually interesting. Triple Amano Iwato in the main deck, triple Tip, and then 3 field spells. 3 of the Veiler, 3 of the card that makes it so the next time your monster would die, it doesn't. And then I believe this is the MST. This is the Dispel, so whenever your opponent searches on resolution, he has to discard a card, random, I think. And then 3 of the Special Summon Monster Destroyer. This card is actual dog shit, I think, but it's not really used for like the effect to make your opponent draw cards, rather only as like a instant fusion. And then this is... I think this just makes your opponent banish cards equal to the amount of like cards on the field, whatever, something like that. And then double Duality, triple Demise, double the Desires, well, a lot of pot cards. Triple D-Fisher, wow, anti-meta City, and then triple Tikaboo, I see you, and Rivalry. If you draw Rivalry and Tikaboo, you're nasty, man. Yeah, imagine this deck getting hit by, like, Eradicator for spells. Oh, man. Anyways, for the side deck, triple Huggin, triple of the level 4 that recycles back a field spell from the grave, I think. And then this, I forgot the... who cares? Freki. This card is actually really nice when it dies because you can recycle back your quick play spells, and it has 2k attack, so even though you're probably never going to be attacking your opponent because you keep skipping your freaking battle phase in that deck, it might maybe come up one day or another. Probably not. And then Cowboy, it's just a joke, bro. Evil Swarm, my god. anyone with a brain would have realized that I'm not trying to stall with that. This is basically the definition of a stall deck. I can imagine so many like players who either cheat or never take showers playing this deck. This is like the equivalent of Mystic Mind Burn for the OCG. And we're gonna have it in the TCG too, by the way. I am not looking forward to this. Oh, we already have it. Oh my god. Anyways, Exciton Knight, cards that you'll never summon. This is so jokes. Yeah, my deck special summons a lot, man. Special summons so much with that Duality and Demise and like, yo, you had to use your freaking Amano Iwato and the level 4 guy to make your rank 4s. Imagine doing all of that just to summon like Dugaris and then getting Veilered. Ah, shit. I wasn't expecting that. Even the side deck is just a bunch of memes, man. Freaking Ghost Sister and Spooky Dog shit. Sphere mode, what the hell is this? Regeki and DD Dynamite! Shoutouts to freaking Master Duel players. This was beautiful. Honestly, this made my day. Anyways, that's pretty much it for this OCG metagame breakdown because I don't want to lose too many brain cells with this issues with your deck list. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and I'll see you guys very, very soon. Peace.